Hey everybody,
That's good
guess
enough.
what's up next? Bass Angler Therapy. Yep, that's right.
Anger.
With me.
Anger.
Anger Therapy. Bass Anger Therapy. Yep, you heard me. With me, Billy Got a Bass.
What
Mr.
up?
I haven't said your name yet. Bradley Hallman. And Todd Castledine.
And me.
And Scotty Martin.
And Mr. Underoos.
He's back there.
I can't
Thanks
be
for
on film
watching.
'cause I'm in my underwear.
He's in his underwear.
Yeah.
Now it goes to the commercial, and then it comes back, and we're all sitting here.
Okay, it'll probably just keep running. But yeah, we'll say it did.
Told you we'd be back. And here we are.
Here we are. We're back.
Thanks for tuning in.
We're live.
I'm still in my underwear.
Am I even in the frame?
Scott.
Yes, you're in the frame.
I feel like I'm-
He's in the frame, isn't he? He's always worried about being in the frame.
Oh, I'm way over here to the side.
Look at it.
The camera's pointing at
Is
you.
it not? Is he not in there?
Yeah. He's in
Yeah,
it.
you're in
You're
it.
over there.
And
You're
it's
in
a
it.
wide frame camera.
Yeah. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that special.
Wide frame.
So what were you
Yeah.
saying about the frame on the 9? What's it do different?
It's got a thing on the front.
It's
Oh,
on the things so
yeah.
you can see it, so you can see how stupid you look.
Yeah.
I look pretty stupid.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you
Billy,
do
why
really
that
stupid.
shit on my thing smell like Snickers?
Huh?
Why'd that thing on my handle smell like Snickers?
What?
Snickers?
Y'all stop cussing.
Don't talk like that.
I don't want to have to
We're
edit
having
everything.
therapy right now, Scott.
Y'all are killing me on the editing thing.
We'll talk about that later.
Smell like Snickers.
Snake, dude.
Yeah. That, I'm sure it did.
We can't talk about
I've
that.
smelled
We
your
can't.
Snickers before.
We can't talk. We can't talk about that on film about you.
I've smelled your Snickers
Go
before.
get dressed, Scott, so you can do a cameo.
See, Andrew thought the same thing I did. This is a twofer tonight, isn't it?
Heck yeah.
That's what I did. I
You
brought
gonna come sit
two.
by me?
Mountains are blue
I don't know.
I'll move my arm so it's not weird.
in the Michelob Ultras.
Oh, Scott's coming. Scott's gonna sit right there between y'all. He's gonna sprawl out
No,
like
actually, I
you did.
think
And he's
Billy
gonna
will
smell
probably
like
sit over
Snickers.
there by Holman.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
be
We're the
they're
two best friends that anyone could have.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
It's all good.
Me and Billy?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
we are.
yeah.
We are.
They
What
even
was
have their
that?
own secret
What was
handshake.
that? My buddy, wherever I go, you
My
know.
buddy and
My
me
buddy.
climb up a tree.
No, I don't know about all that. Kid sister. There was that kid sister.
My
Kid
buddy.
sister. Yeah,
buddy.
I know.
What was
There
you
was one
doing
for the
with some-
girls.
You was doing something with some kid's sister.
What? Who was she?
How old
What,
was she?
Todd?
I was 8. That's when the commercial came out. Oh, good. Scott's got shorts on.
Are you going back there?
You can't sit back there.
What are you gonna do, dude? You're not gonna sit on that. Go sit next to them.
You already sit
Billy will move over. Or
He wants to lay down. We saw this the other night. He lays down and falls asleep.
dude,
on the couch.
you're gonna hurt so bad. He just wants to be
He's
in the
gonna
middle.
burn.
He's gonna be able to stand up.
He wants to
I
burn.
need a shower. I don't know how. This is just too. I don't want to be that close to everybody.
Well, make a cameo. and
Too
then-
bad.
Go for the
Because
shower.
if you want to be, yeah,
I'll sit up here.
you've got some good stuff, I'm sure.
What?
Just tell us about your day real quick.
Yeah, I want to hear about your
So we need
day.
some bass anchor
Well,
therapy, and then you can go
they
take a
can't
shower.
even see him in that.
They can see him. Can they see him? Yeah, let me see. Let me
I
see.
think so.
Let's see. Oh yeah, they can see him.
Okay, great.
Microphone and all.
Microphone
Oh, yeah.
and all. Just talk loud. This is a good acoustic.
Environment.
Yeah.
This is so you want me to talk about my zero today?
No. Or just your day.
I had several meltdowns today. I had three.
You're talking about that way. I'm sorry.
I had three meltdowns because I didn't have a co-angler today, so I could freely
You
talk.
had no co-angler today?
No,
No.
And I still zeroed.
Okay.
What did you break in the boat? Somebody was carrying something in the house, and when Scott had a bad day, and he had a piece of something.
I almost broke all my rods.
Okay.
You broke a prop.
I want to
Okay.
ask you. I want to ask you.
Yeah, that's a.
Can you
Pretty
do a
common thing.
reenactment of one of your breakdowns? A
No, 'cause
PG
it's-
version. PG version.
There's no way. Like there's.
Well,
no,
I mean, do you yell or do you throw some stuff?
Both.
Mostly yelling.
Did
Mostly yelling really loud. Then I look around and see if I see a boat, and if there's a boat a mile away, I see white faces looking over at me. Like they're looking, what happened to that guy? That's what they're thinking. What's that guy? Does he need help? Because
Are
they
you
just
like-
hear.
Are you looking down when you do it, or are
I
you
don't
like?
even know, dude.
All right, so here's a serious question. fishing.
That was a serious. I
I
wouldn't
don't really know my freakouts. They don't. I'm trying to keep my composure. I'm trying to not say things that are inappropriate. I'm trying to think clear thought. I'm trying to do right.
What's appropriate here
And
is
then
why.
it just snaps. Like I snap. Like if I lose a big. Like I lost a.
Is that what that was? That your first breakdown when you lost that one that you were telling me about? You lost
No,
a big one.
I had a mini one right before that.
Was it a
What was
back,
the mini one about?
backlash in those?
Same thing. I lost a fish,
Oh.
but I don't know if it was big or not. It
Okay.
just it bit, and then I just kind of barely got it, but I didn't feel it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
could have been.
okay,
Could have been anything.
Okay.
Do you find it hard to get motivated, or do you that you're in a tournament, that it's tournament day and that it's not a practice day when you don't have a coingler or a marshal with you?
It was weird. It was different. I can just say that. I think obviously it's an advantage, right?
Right.
Have another boat, not another angler back there casting around. Now, if I was burning the banks and doing like fast stuff, it wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't even consider it. But I was offshore fishing brush piles, so best case scenario for me not to have one. Like, tomorrow I have one,
Right.
and
Because
But I'm just talking about-
if it's calm, it's better. But if it's windy and you have a coingler, like and this isn't against the coingler. It's
It's
just
hard to stay on your.
I just found myself becoming too relaxed.
You got to throw more on
Yeah.
your coingler because what happens
Like,
is
it's just a day on the water.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, hey, dude,
it has
this
a
is
weird
tournament.
feel. It has a weird feeling.
I like it.
I agree.
But this whole practice, like, I don't know if I've ever formulated a game plan like I did today in a tournament ever. Really, I mean, I've always had options, and I just
No, remember we talked about this.
Didn't
That there
have
are no options.
I had no options, and
Because we
and I was
didn't
okay
get
with that because I was like, all right, I'm gonna just put my head down, and I'm gonna get in an 8-hour period, I'm gonna catch 5 fish. I'm gonna get 5 good bites out there. I might not get any bites from 8 o'clock till 11, but from 11 to 2, I might get 4. And in the last 30 minutes, I'm going to get 1. Whatever. I was up, when I had an hour left, I was like, okay, probably not going to get 5, but I'll get 2 bites, and they're going to weigh a 3 and a 4, and I'm going to have 7 pounds with 2 fish.
Right.
And then, this never happened, but I was okay with it until the last little bit. And then I was just kind of like, damn, I didn't really freak out at the end. I only had meltdowns when I lost a couple fish, just because you stand there like literally I was facing the wind, open water, standing into the wind, on the trolling motor the whole time, casting and dragging it real slow, trying to keep the line up out of the waves because the line's hitting the waves. And I'm trying to, it was like the most concentrated fishing I've ever done, and not to get bit. When I finally had an opportunity to get one and lose it, it was like a 10-second freak out, but still, I hate to say it, sometimes you got to get that out.
Oh yeah, it makes me feel better. when I do that.
I'll move on.
I do too, but it helps me get out. It helps me move on. I feel better instantly when I
Really?
like that. Oh yeah. Instantly.
No, like today. Remember when I talked to you today, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go in the business of the Ned rig.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna start making my own Ned rig
Oh, okay.
because it's a gold mine.
Yeah.
Because it's
You
the
just
most
lose them all the time.
hanging up thing in the world, and I was like, I'm just gonna start doing it. So I'm gonna make a freaking killing.
Castle Rock.
And I got
Ned rig.
so mad today, and then I re-rigged that freaking spinning rod, and I don't care how good or fast you think you are, you're not that fast. Like it takes a long time.
Oh, the leader and all that.
The leader, getting it all out, like to do, and then I messed it up like 3 times. Like I just didn't feel like that knot was like good.
Tonight before you go to bed, go pull off 8 foot of fluorocarbon, tie 16
I'm not
rigs
throwing it
on,
tomorrow. I'm not throwing it tomorrow.
and have it wrap them up on
No.
something. So when you break off, you just tie one knot and you're done.
I broke them all off.
You
just
do
like,
that?
I broke
No,
them all
that's
off.
a good
just-
idea.
I have.
You can take pool noodles. I tell you how you do it.
Yeah, Carolina rig stuff used to do that, but I don't like doing
How
that
do you
either.
do it with what?
Pool
Pool
noodles.
noodles.
You can get a pool
You
noodle.
can get cardboard too.
And go and wrap it around it, and then put the hook in there.
We do it when we're like drop shotting at like St. Clair or Erie.
Carol-
So you're not like having to like sit in your boat and rig when you're drifting across your rest stuff. You can just reach down there, grab one, tie it on, and go.
The Carolina rig's the same
But you
thing.
still got to tie the
Yeah.
double.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
Tie
but
one double union knot, you're done.
yeah,
Don't
but
do
like
weights,
everything's
you're
out and ready. Like what you don't take account for is So if you break off, like, and you just got braid.
You gotta open one lid up, get a hook out.
Yeah.
You gotta
Well,
put the weight out.
okay, I got to open up my right thing to get my line out, my 8-pound test line. So I got that out now. I got to get it all. Then I got to open this up, and I got to get the Ned rig, the bait. Then I got to sit out there and tie that together and tie that together. And I got to put everything back up. And it's just,
And you know what?
listen, everyone's like, well, that takes 6 minutes. Well, dude, it's like,
No, but here's
we hate 30 seconds of
but
losing
it's
time.
not the time. It's not as much about the time loss.
It's the.
No. Think about this. It's not like if you're drifting along, right, and you break off around nothing, right? You don't get hung; it just breaks. Then you take 6 minutes and rig up. There's not a big opportunity missed. When you break off, guess what? You're hung up on something. You're hung up in a brush pile.
Yeah,
you're hung up on the juice of the rock, and now you take 6 minutes to re-rig. If you just fired them up, or you maybe missed one, or whatever, you just screwed your whole opportunity up.
And if you
That's the opportunity.
and if you have a co-angler,
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
That's gonna fire up there.
100%. Because as soon as that happened to me, I just backed on
I
off.
would never do that.
I backed off. And all of a sudden I see this right
Yeah, you
over,
do that all the
right
time.
over my head, and I'm
You
like,
took your pro to my fishing water today.
You know.
You lying, man! I
did.
swear to
You took your pro to
He
Scott's
did.
water.
I looked up. The only there hadn't been a boat around. I looked all the way. There's no boats anywhere. And then I see, and he don't even say anything.
he went to my
He never
spot.
He was doing this the whole time.
He went.
Yeah.
He told me he went to my spot too.
Yeah, we did. We went to 2 of Scott's.
2 of Scott's and 1 of Todd's.
Only 2 he had.
Yeah, the only 2 places I got bit.
And he took you to both of them.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
And then mine, where I caught that crappie.
Uh-oh, ghost.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
You got me.
then he took me to. Then he went to Todd's hole.
Is it locked?
I hope that's locked. McCoy, you're not. Get out of here. You're not even welcome in here anymore. That was the worst scare tactic we've ever seen.
Scared Billy.
No, it did not.
Scared me. Tell us so your khaki
He
pants.
all
I thought an owl had run into the...
I was like, ghosts don't wear khaki pants.
I didn't know anybody wore khaki pants just for the fun of it.
I just
didn't
know
know
one guy
anybody
who
wore
wears
khaki
khaki
pants.
shorts.
I wear
Right.
khaki pants all the time.
I just know one guy who wears khaki shorts.
Look how tight they are.
Oh yeah, yeah. Look how tight those are.
Yeah, that's about the same. You need them short. You tuck your shirt in.
Do you have
I mean,
a
if
belt?
you're gonna go that
Do
way,
you have a belt? How about a cell phone holder for your belt?
if you're gonna go all out, just go ahead and tuck your shirt in and just look. Look at that hair. He can't see us because he has no glasses on.
Huh? Me?
Dude, he is gonna beat the absolute shit out of you
Dude,
one
I
day.
am so ready for it.
I'm serious.
I agree.
He
Why
is.
do you ride him constantly?
Because
You don't give him a single break, dude.
Man, he went and hung out with me all day long today.
Ride him.
Yeah. Look at because he stares at me. I don't like it.
He's gonna take a
He
baseball bat.
stares at me.
When you walk out in the morning, dude, and go to your boat, he's gonna take your legs out with a baseball bat at the front door, dude. Say, "Good luck, Todd."
Go,
Again,
go
every-
flip it.
Every time
Yeah.
I'm around,
Go
y'all,
flip yourself.
every time y'all are around and y'all start saying that stuff, you notice he grabs a knife. Now he grabs a pool ball.
Yeah.
He's always got a
grabbing-
weapon.
Yeah. Better bring more than that. Better get that stick
All right,
too.
back to bass angler therapy.
Yeah, every time McCoy comes in, you want to talk about fighting, dude.
Yeah, I just want to wrestle him.
You wanted to wrestle Billy all last tournament.
Yeah, I can't get anyone to wrestle me.
I was like, dude, he's the smallest guy in the
It's all the
house.
push-ups you've been doing has got your.
That's
You're-
because he started it all.
All right.
I have the footage of him
Arm
calling me
wrestle.
out.
Arm wrestle, Billy. Andrew and Billy arm wrestle.
How did I get thrown into this?
I don't know.
Because
I
you're
didn't
the,
do anything.
Yeah, that's true. You got.
I thought it was McCoy and Billy.
Listen, I saw the fear in some geese's eyes. Is all I'm gonna say. You remember
Chuck.
them geese?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That'll
I
come.
almost caught one.
Don't know. That'll come out on the practice vlog. But that was good stuff.
Why, they come after you?
No,
No,
it was
he
even
just
Billy went after them.
Billy had to go after one. They had to let him know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
You ever been attacked by a swan?
No.
Dude, I got attacked by a swan at St. Clair. In one of those big giant white ones.
Yeah.
That had babies and I was in the back mark,
You know,
dude. And it jumped, it started getting all
You know the
crazy.
white one?
How do you get
Not
in a
the
fight
purple.
with a swan?
No,
Right
listen,
there?
dude.
With the
It's
Listen.
the middle of
But
the
the white
ocean.
ones.
It's what? No, I was like near the bank.
the
I was
white
like one of
ones.
those canals, and it puffed up with its wings all crazy, and dude, it jumped up and it started woof. It was flying at me.
So it was like
I
Karate
jumped
Kid.
down literally and turned the engine on. It took off, and it was right here. like with its head, it's flying, and I'm getting on plane, and it's going whack, 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 trying to like bite my ear, dude. Thing was like 10-foot wingspan.
That's how the drone was today. He was flying the drone as close to me as I've ever had anyone
Really?
fly a drone.
Before?
Hear it, dude. It was right, like it was sitting right in my face, like right here. The guy's like, "Is that gonna hit you?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I mean, dude, it was on my face.
Really?
I've
Were
never
you
had.
fishing or just sitting there taking?
No, I was taking off. Like, I got a little worried because I was like, if I go a little bit too fast on this takeoff, I'm going to smoke this thing. I don't know how I didn't hit it. But yeah. You got swanned.
Did you have a
Dude, I'm
meltdown
serious, those things
today?
are dangerous.
Oh, they are crazy.
Did I have a meltdown today? Yeah, I did. I broke off a giant fish today.
Did you really?
Yeah, I lost my spinnerbait and everything. Trying to do Wrong Fish Wednesday. I had a 60-pound carp eat a spinnerbait. Like, slow rolling it, king, and I was like, as soon as I felt it, it just went. And all I said out loud was, if this is a bass, I've already won the whole tournament. But then it had that real hard, and I was like, this has got to be like a giant catfish. And then it came up, and I mean, it was that long. It was huge, dude. And so I tried to get it. I got it by the boat because I wanted to. I even told my client, I was like, man, Billy, help me get
Wrong
this in
Fish
the boat
Wednesday.
for Wrong Fish Wednesday. And
And you want your spinnerbait back.
yeah, I don't want my spinnerbait back. Well, when I put my finger up underneath his gill plate really wasn't as big as what you would think. And like he tried to roll and got my finger caught up and
You
about broke
touched
it. Oh yeah. And then he rolled and broke my line and I lost my spinnerbait. I had a little fit about that.
He lost Wrong Fish Wednesday
Yeah, I had a giant one, and I was on the phone.
too. Yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah,
They have
ate
some
your
giant,
bait?
they're like grass carp.
It ate your bait?
No, I hooked it in the back, and I told Val, I was like, I gotta go. I got Wrong Fish Wednesday, and I'm like chasing this thing around. He goes and lays on the bottom, like he would
They're
literally
on
go
for a
in.
long time.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, and I got him back up, and he go back and lay down back on the bottom. It's only 3 foot of water. I had him on square bill right on top of the head, and finally he just pulled off, straightened all my hooks out.
I had this sucker on a Falcon Amistad with 20-pound test line, and I mean, I had that drag set on getting the boat, come here, and just freaking winched on him once I realized what wasn't a bass. But he still had a lot of energy when he got to the boat, apparently.
I
Because he
did.
whipped my ass when I put my hand down
I
there.
did catch a scale today. I hung something. Well, it definitely wasn't a bass because the scale was about that big around.
Yeah.
And I got it in, and my guy's like, "What is that?" I was like, "That's a scale." And he's like, "Holy!" And I'm like, "I don't know what it was. It had to be a carp because he had just caught a carp a few minutes before."
I have seen
Yeah, he
one.
did. He caught one. Like he
In the
laid-
mouth?
Yeah, in the mouth.
A carp.
A carp. He
They'll
caught a carp
catch some in the mouth every once in a
Yeah.
while.
With a crankbait.
Dude,
Caught it in the
I
mouth.
had a guy today claim a stretch,
Is there?
a bank at takeoff.
He
Like
did.
literally right there at the boat ramps takeoff, retread hole 101. And I saw this guy over there for a couple of hours. He's sitting on one spot offshore. And I'm coming down the bank. I'm not getting out there on his offshore deal. And as I start coming down, here he comes, He's like, hey man, I'm fishing this area right here, this stretch right here. Just thought I'd let you know. I made a couple casts. I was like, pulled up my truck. I was ready to go anyway. I was like, hey dude, it's all yours. And I left. But I'm thinking, how do you claim a stretch in a retread hole?
Yeah,
Like,
that-
dude, you're fishing at takeoff.
Yeah, you don't get that. Okay, so okay, I got 2 questions for y'all. I don't know if I should ask them both. Okay, kind of the same thing. I'll do the first one. The boat dock that you saw me on.
Yeah.
It's not even a boat dock. What is
I
that?
don't know what that is.
But it's big.
Yeah, it's
Barge.
huge. Well, no, it's
Fishing barge.
Well,
The
whatever.
fishing barge?
It's the one. It's the one.
It's a fishing barge. So it's got brush pile stuff underneath. People pay to come
Oh,
down.
okay,
fishing.
well, okay,
It's probably
okay.
heated inside.
Okay,
in the
my
winter.
question is this: if a guy's on the other side
Yeah.
of the and there's just that bridge, the walkway.
Walkway, right?
And a lot of these guys won't understand. Like they don't see what we're talking about. But this thing to troll around would take you.
I mean,
3
a lot.
minutes?
Yeah, at
It's
least.
big.
It's
It's
big.
really-
It's like almost like going around.
If
a
he's
marina.
on this side, and you come and I pulled up, I can't see anyone on this place on my side.
Right.
I pull up and I see him, and I'm like,
And you
he's
can't
on the
and
bridge.
You can't go under the
You
walkway.
can't go under the walkway. So like he's stuck. Oh, I know.
Yeah, you can go the other side.
You can go the other side, and I did. I didn't go right away. I stayed away and just fished when I caught one like first cast, like out there on them rocks.
Right.
I didn't want to keep her, but like I caught one and I waited till he fished the walkway and he started pulling off, and then I went on my side, and I fished around. And I'm like, But I was thinking if you were on a dock, a single dock, and some guy pulled on the other side of the dock, you'd be like, dude, that's crap.
Well, yeah.
But this thing's
It's
that thing's
enormous.
different, right?
like a
We all
marina.
agree.
It's a marina.
It's
It's
a
basically
marina.
a marina.
Okay, we all agree that that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
My second question is this. So the tire reefs.
Mhm.
And I wasn't fishing the tire reefs. But if you're on a tire reef, or say you're on the bank and the tire reef,
Once somebody's on the inside part of the
I already know where you're going. The tire reef next to the roadbed.
in the big marina.
Yeah. Tire reef next to the roadbed.
So I was fishing on this side.
On the roadbed.
Yeah, and the guy pulled up, and I had no problem with the guy, what he did. Zero problem. He pulled up on the very end of the tire reef, and he wasn't even fishing the road. I don't know, he caught 2 keepers there. But my point is what he did was fine. Zero problem with what he did. He stayed out there, and I stayed up there. I wasn't even fishing tires. I was fishing the roadbed. But on a tire reef, can me and you, say it's a double tire reef, like you can't really fish my side. Is it cool to just get right up on someone? Because you can't really get across.
Oh, you mean like on either side?
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
I've done it.
like, would you get mad?
No, not really.
Because you can't really fish the other side.
Right.
You can just do circles.
Yeah, but like, say the circle would take you 4, 5, 6 minutes to get around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if someone got mad, like a guy yelled at me one time, not for this. A guy yelled at me. There was a fence on Conroe, and it was a fence, and the fence was 30 yards off a causeway, and he was on the outside of the fence. Well, I went down the causeway. He's from there from you. He was like, "What the heck, man?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Were you fishing right here?" And he was like, "Well, I mean, you just gonna come up on me?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, come in front of me then." Well, I mean, there's a fence on the water. He couldn't. And I'm like, and I just sat there because now I was in that mode. And I'm like, "Oh, come on, man."
I was
When
in
you
that
got in that
mode.
mode.
Well, yeah, because he was like,
We know what that mode
well, I
is.
mean, he had to go like 50, 60 yards around the fence to come in where I was at. And I'm like, "Well, no, just cut in front of me then." Well, I'm like, no, you can fish all in front of me. Go ahead. Because he couldn't. And I'm just like, you can't get here. You have to go way over there to get in here. I just came in. Well, I know, but it was just stupid. I was like, you can't claim that and this. Kind of like your guy, like, well, I'm claiming this area. No, you're not claiming this area on day one of retread
At
fishing.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
10 o'clock in the morning of retread.
What's the reach?
And he wanted to stretch. Like, if you want to sit and throw at that pool table, I think you could claim that at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But and that's what he was doing. But then when I got within
There's
football
19
field,
boats fishing that area too, by the way.
110%.
Like, I
if
would
you
drive
can't
by there,
stand
there's
to
like-
eat, get out of the kitchen.
There's like boats everywhere, and I can just see everyone like, you're stuck wherever you start.
You're
You're
stuck.
just stuck right where there, and you got to fish a little 30, 50 yard strip.
That's right.
Maybe
Yeah.
50.
Maybe
That's what it is.
50.
Maybe
That's what it is.
50.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't claim it if a guy is like, "Hey, I'm just gonna go around you." You can't be like, "No, I'm fishing right here," and be like, "Dude, you gotta understand a little bit that it's going 50 miles an hour. We're on a sucky place. Like, and let me just throw this out there. I'm throwing it out there. And no one wants to say it. You don't want to say it?
I don't even know what you're going to say, so I don't care. I have no idea what you're about to say.
But we gotta stop coming to these places. We got to.
That ain't going to happen.
I know, but like, people need to understand that, like, this isn't good. This isn't. You talked a big deal about like growing the sport.
Mhm.
This isn't growing the sport.
No.
This
This,
isn't fair.
this has got me contemplating never fishing again in the fall in my life.
This is not fair to guys like my co-angler.
No.
You know, he's a police officer. He takes off work.
Yeah.
He fished. He was going to fish all these in this division.
This is a good point.
He had to miss. He had to miss Rayburn because he had something come up at work. He's a detective for the Lewisville Police Department, as a matter of fact. And he was like, "Dude, I couldn't go." And I was just there thinking. I was like, "Would you miss the only good tournament of the year on a good lake?" You know what I mean? Like, because the rest of them are really not that good. And you know, I mean, he's here at Lewisville. Yes, he's at home, but I mean, dude, he didn't catch a bass day. He went fishing all day. They paid us money to come fish a bass event, and I mean, he wasn't the only one. I mean, what did half the co-anglers?
At least half.
Blank?
At least half zeroed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough.
So here's what I'll say about
It's not
this.
fun.
It's not fun and it's not right. And here's what I'm gonna say. We have all fished tough tournaments. We are not complaining that it's tough. There's a difference. When you go to Alabama, okay, and they put you on Gunnersville, and it's a tough event, no big deal. We're on Gunnersville. It's a good lake.
It has them.
It has them.
Yeah.
It might be a tough event. That's fine.
Well, apparently this place has them because somebody went in 24.
No.
No,
there's a difference of
There's a
that.
big difference.
Yeah.
When
This
you-
place has them when it's fishing fantastic.
No, I mean this has.
You know
them
what
at-
I'm saying? Like in
or
the
there's
spring.
40 people.
Yeah.
There's a big difference that I fished. If y'all
But
don't
if
know,
we only went to those
but
lakes,
listen,
man, we'd only go to like a dozen lakes in the country.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Listen, I live in Texas.
No, I agree. I mean, we could be
I
at Choke
fished
Canyon right now.
Tons of team events.
We could all be at Choke right now.
I've fished one team event my entire life on Lewisville because no one goes there. No big events go there because they know it's not good. They won't get turnout. No one wants to go. It's not fun. It's small. They get it.
You could find a Great Lake in just about every state in the south or the east of here.
We went to Neely
Everyone.
Henry, and I get that they have them, but Neely Henry is not one of the top 5 lakes in Alabama.
No.
And what I'm saying is that it's different if you went to a lake or a state, that didn't have them. We're talking about Texas. Lewisville is probably ranked out of Texas lakes 50th.
That's what I was thinking.
50th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to the 50th best lake in Texas. When you've got like you said, Choke Canyon. Dude, I'd much rather Amstead. I don't care how bad Amstead is. It's huge. It fishes big. You're all like, hey, if you don't catch them, it's on you.
Yeah.
This isn't on you sometimes when you don't catch them. It's like, I can't go hit any spot because
I
there's
didn't
40 boats there.
You didn't run your creek pattern like you like to do, and I didn't expand a lot of things because we knew that it was going to be overrun with boats.
That was my
Yes.
fear is it was going to be over on boats.
Right.
And
And if you're on a lake that has lots of options and lots of creeks and it can gobble up.
that's right. Usually it's to take other people's attention away doing other things.
Dude,
That's when you can go.
Cherokee was fine with me. I'm not gonna lie. Cherokee was big. You can
And they do live there. They live in
and they
Cherokee.
live there. We know they live there.
It was just tough.
It was tough, and I never had a problem with Cherokee. What I have a problem with is it's like going to Oklahoma
And going to the Arkansas River instead
and
of
going to the
Grand.
Arkansas River instead of going to Grand or Eufaula or like y'all have. It'd be like going to Missouri and going, no, we're not going to go to Table Rock or Lake of the Ozarks. We're going to go to Truman.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It'd be like going to Florida and not going to Okeechobee or Harris Chain. And we went to a good place. What I'm saying is, dude, we're in Texas, and this doesn't show out Texas. This makes Texas look bad.
South Carolina, we hit a good one with Hartwell.
No, Hartwell's got him.
And we got to remember too that and not giving Lewisville any credit because I despise Lewisville, but
Everyone despises it.
we are at the mercy of COVID and the schedule this year. And if the schedule had been in line of where it was, the fishing would have been better everywhere.
Okay.
One of the dictating factors on where we go, unfortunately, with the opens until this changes, if it might not ever change,
Is Bass Pro.
Bass Pro.
Listen,
That's what I heard is that we're going back to Bass Pro weigh-ins next year.
which will
So
be
that
worse.
means that we have to go to Lewisville.
Which will be worse.
Yeah, because it puts us in the cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
It
is
limits
worse.
them
Which
where
is
they
way
can
worse.
go.
Right.
You talk about the April deal. Name me a lake in Texas that's not good in April. Thank you. Every one of them.
I agree. But
So-
how many are by Bass Pro?
No.
where
What
we
I'm
can
saying
actually
is like,
weigh
hey,
in?
it would have been better. I could have named 50 other lakes. It would have been
I
better.
understand, but we would have been catching them better regardless of
I
where
know,
we
but
went.
it was still been stupid. None of us were looking forward to it in April because
I was.
we
I
all
100% was
dude.
looking forward to
You
this
want
this
to talk
April.
about? There would have been no one on the main lake, and it would have been 50 boats all freaking looking at
That's
each other.
fine. It'd have been awesome.
It wouldn't have been that.
Would
Great.
have way better than this.
It'd have been better, but every lake would have been better in April.
Exactly my point.
Water's up how much higher? 4 or 5 foot?
No, No, it might just be level.
It might just be what
Like
it
a
is
foot,
right now.
yeah.
Just depending on rain and stuff. But the deal is the fish will be much more predictable.
All right,
You
I'm
know,
going to bed.
Going
All right.
shallow and stuff.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Formulate a plan.
Let's cut
tomorrow.
this one short. Are we almost done?
I'll keep talking. I gotta go figure out how to catch 5 fish tomorrow.
All right.
That's what I gotta go figure out too.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Billy.
Good night, y'all. Billy.
Night.
Billy's said
Night.
one word.
I haven't had a chance to talk.
We'll talk.
Since the last time I did.
What are your thoughts? I mean, you get a whole different. Man, let me tell you something. A lot of the people that are watching this, like, are gonna get more from you.
That's
I mean,
true.
you're. What are your thoughts on all this? I mean, you're in with random people.
It's been a rough fall for you. hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. This is kind of like being a co-angler in this. It's more like being a co-angler. I've never been a co-angler in a Costa event or whatever they are now.
Yeah.
But it seems more like that. It's different than being a co-angler in FLW when I did that because
Why?
there was, I don't want to say better fishermen or more experienced tournament fishermen maybe. I mean, I've gotten some draws in this to where I'm like, really? You know,
You didn't get that much on the tour, did you?
bad draws? No, not from like idiots that shouldn't be voters. Like I have here. Not here, but
When I talked
In
to
general.
and when I talked to Hackney and Christy, and I don't want to throw their names out there, but I mean, I just did. Here's what's amazing. And if you asked, so if we did a poll on I'd say, would you go with me on this? 80% of the fishermen, I wouldn't even want to say 90, but 80. Would you want to go to Lewisville? Would you want an off limits? Would you want am I wrong on this? Because like all those guys would like, hey, let's just make it Monday, Tuesday. We all would love an off limits. It would make these lakes fish so much better. And even Hackney today said, he goes, man, this isn't a true. I've been saying this forever. I was glad to hear him say it. This isn't a true test of. He goes, those guys that will qualify through the opens this year. He's not picking anyone out. He doesn't even know who's going to do it. He's just like, over the years, the opens don't really judge, like they get to the elites and a lot of them struggle. And he goes, because a lot of those guys in the elites are like really big home run hitters. And he said, man, it's just some of these guys that qualify through the opens are like, I'm gonna go shake your head around and catch 10, 11 pounds everywhere I go and qualify. And then that doesn't play out at all. At all.
When the bodies of water, like what
The
you're
bodies of
mentioning,
water they go through with an 80 boat field, dude. You can all swing for the fence and you can hit multiple home runs.
Rayburn, Gunnersville,
Well, you gotta
Chick,
remember
up
on the
north.
Fork.
Fork. I mean, they're all freaking heavy hitters.
I mean,
man.
you gotta remember though on the elites, especially with the 80 boat field.
That's what I'm saying.
The second day the weights go up
Yeah, always.
every time,
Yeah, you're
and
learning.
so
You're-
you know,
Andy Morgan always said that. Andy Morgan was like, so it was always crazy. Andy Morgan always wanted less people making it more of a power fishing deal. And Thrift was always like, let's get more people in here.
oh yeah,
Because Thrift was always Thrift just kind of fished a little bit different.
Nobody messed with his stuff.
ever.
Well, Thrift figured out a way. Thrift figured out, he's like, I want to watch what everyone's doing. And whatever pattern they're on, I'm going to go do something different. No matter what it was. And he was good enough to do that.
Yeah.
And he just figured out a way to catch them when everyone else, if this was like the best flipping lake in the world, he'd never go flip. And that he just let everyone do that deal. And he just wouldn't even try it. Not that it sounds really smart.
What do you think Thrift will do here?
He'd weigh in 5 that weighed about 12 pounds today.
Yeah.
That's what he'd do.
He'd probably have a shaky
But
head.
how?
He
The
would
trick
he
worm.
would have just idled.
Throw
and
that
idled,
stinger,
idled.
man.
He'd throw that Demiki stinger on and catch him.
He'd find one or two little places that just had them.
He'd have a couple little places he'd catch some fish. He's a big idler, man. He would have idled his place. What did New have today? New had 4. He's
Three.
like he's
I think he
like
had 3.
He's a little
Did he have
mini
3?
me.
6 pounds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, about what I had.
Yeah.
He told me he'd idled the whole lake pretty much, which I pretty much idled. I felt like the whole lake, but I know
We didn't idle the whole lake,
I felt like I did.
but you didn't. And I'll tell
Hey,
you
the
why.
main thing about being a co-angler, you can't go into it with expectations.
That's very true.
I zeroed today, totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Would I want to win? Of course I want to win.
Right.
But I zeroed, whatever.
But the deal is that, and I was telling my co-angler today, because he got a little down about the whole situation. And I'm not saying like he was like super down, but like, you know, this was his only 3 days of vacation left for the entire year, the rest of the year.
I'd be
You know,
down too.
And I was like,
I would
man,
say
like,
at least the weather's nice.
well, no, you know, as bad as the fishing was, I mean, we got along well, we talked, whatever. But I was like, all you gotta do is go catch you 3 fish tomorrow, and you get paid, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Because in these tough events, if you have that positive mindset of like, okay, I zeroed, whatever, like I had a bad draw or I had a bad situation I was dealt, whatever it may be, you can always make it up on day 2. Now, the pro side's slightly different, but even in this event, if I go catch 13 pounds tomorrow, there's a pretty good chance I can get a check. The
only thing I'll say is, and we all talk enough in practice, right? I mean, we don't like share everything, but we like, hey man, how's your day today, right? We talked.
Yeah.
Like how many keepers you get. Like, well, I caught one yesterday, and at Cherokee, there were days that I only had like 2 bites.
Yeah.
But I had 2 days. One day I had like 15.
Yeah.
None of us had that practice day here.
No.
None of us had that practice day where we're like, man, I think I would have had a pretty good bag today. Not one of us. I'm saying not one of us even came close to that. And the hard part is you saying, oh, if you went out and did that. Today was the first
I
time.
might have had a decent bag the first day of practice, but I caught a 7-pounder. And when I say decent, you know,
That was an 8-pounder.
7,
varies.
8, 6, 8,
Varies.
6, 8, 7.
Hey, I can tell you a way to make money.
How?
You get one of those Garmin Ice Finder Panoptics.
Yep.
The ice fishing Panoptics.
Yep.
You put it on the back of your boat and put a little credit card swiper on it.
Yeah.
And that co-angler gets
And it
in the
only
boat.
works for 30 minutes at a time.
20 minutes a swipe. $20 a swipe.
So
30 minutes.
Billy has this. This is true. This
Co-angler
is a good thing to talk about.
Swipe.
LiveScope has taken over the tournament industry at this point, so it's basically taken
Not on this
all
lake.
summer and fall. Well,
You never know.
it played some today for Billy. What's happening is that the co-angler is getting
For you or
stuck
him?
in the back.
Well, it played on me because I
He
didn't have any brush to fire at.
He
He
can't throw
was.
it.
I'm just out there random with a 1 ounce weight trying to find the brush.
Whereas years ago,
when I find it, I caught 2 fish.
years
They were
ago,
just short.
you both would be looking for the brush together to find it, because even though you got the waypoint, you still got to fan cast a little bit to find it, and now that's not happening.
Yeah, so if I had my own Panoptics,
I mean, okay, so
Swipe.
speaking, yeah, that is awesome. But speaking of Panoptics and like the revolutionary idea of Panoptics and being able to hit your target on the first cast and every cast for that matter, how frustrating is it when you get on a body of water like this or Cherokee or wherever, and you
I don't know where
hit
you're
that
going.
cast every single time and you still don't catch a bass? There's nothing more annoying than that. Because at the end of the day, I can sit there and I can miss the cast 50 times and make the right cast and catch one back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And you'd be like, oh, there's the brush. I'm about to get a bite.
Wham!
Boom!
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, there's the brush. I didn't catch one. Oh, there's the brush. I didn't catch one. And it's like, man, it's so frustrating. Like,
Yeah.
and
I
then,
agree.
then like,
I totally
and then
agree.
I'll hit the brush and I'll see the fish go, and they'll all just like scatter out and just go dart in every direction. And they'll come back and look at my bait, and I'm just sitting there, and reel in and cast back in there, and they do the same thing. They scatter and they'll come back. I'm telling you, like, I love Panoptics. It's like a love-hate. I love Panoptics, but I hate it at the same time because at the end of the day, I see more fish than I can catch, and that frustrates me to no end.
I'm not seeing them here.
Oh, I'm seeing them every brush pile I into.
Oh, I'm not fishing piles. But
Yeah.
the problem is so I've got it on mine. One of the beams is messed up. It's not my boat again, and the low rance ghost I have. What?
I have a frustrating story here, a short one.
what's
And
happening with it?
In my gut. Well, for whatever reason with that ghost, the ghost trolling motor. I don't know if so I've heard that there's certain transducers are better than others, and because I was like I can't see it. Like, I can't hardly, I can find it, but I can't hardly ever make a cast on it and see my bait or anything. But that ghost, one, the arrow, like, so if it's over here and you move it this way, right? So you move your trolling motor this way, and then your arrow goes. And I don't think, but if you just barely touch your trolling motor, that ghost, like, just do that. It'll, and you can see, like, like, whoa, like, it's hard. Like, other one, you can put some pressure on it, and then it'll stop. This one, like, if you keep your foot on the, so y'all do that, right? Yeah. Y'all keep your foot on the pedal and keep it aimed at it. You can't do that with the ghost. Any slight, it'd be like just doing this. Any of that, and it freaking moves it. Yeah. So, like, you basically, electronic. Yeah, so, like, you can't, it's not good because it's so sensitive. Yeah. It's almost impossible to keep your foot on it. But if it's blowing, you have to keep your foot on it to stay, to keep in line. That one you can't do, man. I mean, any, a half a pound of pressure, and you're standing on it. So you got 100 and something pounds of pressure, and it's freaking, yeah. It's not.
That's hard to do.
I found the Mecca. So this was aggravating today. This is live scope, Panoptics aggravation. I found the best brush pile that I've seen since I've been here. I can guarantee you that there is a 20-pound bag on it. Guarantee you there's a 20-pound bag on it. It is under the freaking dock of the gas pump dock in the marina. There's a gas dock back there, and there's a pole. First I saw this pile, and I'm like, how did I miss that pile in practice? And I'm looking, and I'm like, I see the pole, and then I see the pile. So I kind of go around the other corner, and I'm like, that son of a gun is 20 foot up underneath that dock. So now I'm looking for holes, because now I know. I'm like, ain't nobody fished that one. Dude, this is, you know as well as I do, there's a 20-pound bag on that brush pile. Nobody's made a cast on it, and it's in the middle of a marina. Get me to that sucker. So I'm looking for holes. I'm trying. There is no way to get. They must have had a scuba diver put that thing up underneath there.
Can they even fish for it?
No, nobody can fish for it.
So maybe, I mean, just hypothetically speaking,
if I had a lure that would run, y'all got a crankbait that'll go away from you?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna love this.
I can catch them if you come up with a bait that'll go that way.
So listen. When you're growing up or you've been around any place and some guy catches them, y'all have them at Grand Lake. I'm not gonna mention the guy's name. But, like, all these theories get about, like, how's this guy? I'm sure there's theories about Brandon Dillard. How's he catching them? Oh, I bet you he's doing that.
Right.
99.9% of the time, guy just freaking spent his time out there, worked a little bit harder than everyone else, figured it out.
That's right.
And does his deal. Mm-hmm. But you get these guys that are, like, way on out there. Yeah. And so, when I was young, we had this thing called Flexi Bell. Okay, Flexi Bell was a three-story paddle boat that's set in the marina. Okay, and this is the marina I grew up on, so I could tell you everything about this whole marina, and I knew how to catch fish off it. But Flexi Bell's set parked in this marina, and you can catch fish around it. But there were some buddies that didn't. There were some guys that could really catch fish, and there was this one guys that were always catching fish. And we caught fish. He's like, I think I know what's going on, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to hear this. He's like, what he's doing is he's throwing on one side of the Flexi Bell, and he's getting line out, and he's letting his line sink underneath Flexi Bell, and he gets on the other side and lets it all sink, and then just starts pulling on it, and it'll go underneath. And I'm like, really? So he's taking 10 minutes to let his line sink to where it gets underneath.
If this would work on this spot, I would. If there's a pole in the way, I would take 20 minutes because I think one cast of that pile is a big one. How could it not be?
Anyways, that's what people were thinking.
Line and Lexi.
There is actually a rig. Iaconelli actually does it quite a bit. It's a centipede. It's X-rig centipede, and he puts a big weight in the tail of it. And it's a backwards gliding bait.
Oh, the flying lure.
Yeah, well, it's basically a flying lure, but it's a centipede.
You just need a big old flying lure.
But what it does is it makes the bait back all the way up. And if you're in 20 foot of water, you know, if you look at it from an angle standpoint, if
We
it,
can look at it on your
I
freaking.
mean, you'll see it actually drop at an angle.
He's
going
thinking about
backwards.
doing this tomorrow.
Dude, I could catch a giant bag if I could get bait in this brush pile over and over. I promise you. There's no way there's not a freaking 20 pound bag.
you can-
I'm not saying I'd catch 20,
Okay,
but I
can-
would.
what, you
you
think
can-
you think you can crank one?
Well, you can't because there's pole there.
Okay, because I was gonna say just make that crankbait run that direction.
You can't. You can't.
It's too far up under.
It's too far under.
I mean,
And there's a walkway. Like there would be no way to make a cast to get it.
you
I've seen
you
some-
you could do like a Texas rig Cinco and tail weight it, and it'll backtrack.
I don't know
I promise you that.
how far back there you think it is from here to that wall.
No.
Closer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's probably.
Yeah, but it'd have to.
It's
be
only like
so
10
perfect.
feet. It's only like 10 feet. If I can get it to go 10 feet back in there.
If it's 20 foot deep, is it 20 or is it
Probably
18?
on the front, it's probably 17, 18.
You have a chance if you tail weight that Cinco, because then even if it takes it 8 foot back up in there at that depth of water, you have a shot at it.
You know what I was thinking about today is that they took out the rule on the rod length. If I had a 20-foot rod, I could just stick my rod in there and then click the bail and it'd fall straight down.
Well, that's what crappie fishermen do.
That's what I thought about. If I had to be a 20-foot rod, I could just stick it up underneath there and click the bail and it'd go straight down. What's wrong with that?
I mean, it's
That's
fantastic.
some David Dudley thinking right there.
That David Dudley ain't thought of that.
Bubba.
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 I'm trying to think for it because I've seen some piles. Like I'll look underneath them docks and I'll see stuff and I'm like, I can't get to that thing.
I've seen some of that too, and I'm just like, I just stopped even looking because I can't get a bait.
That's what I do. I ought to duct tape 3 rods together tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, Dudley.
If I see you do this, man.
That's what I ought to do.
I'm gonna film
What will
you.
you do when you get hooked up?
Well, no, I mean,
I'll
it's
just pull it into one rod and
It'd be
get the
like
top rod.
a
and
wooden
then-
ruler.
the top rod.
Remember
top
those
rod.
wooden rulers that you fold out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what your rod.
The yardsticks.
Yeah.
Dude, I would imagine these fish are stupid enough you could put a 3/4 ounce jig on 65-pound braid. And
What
sit there
fish is stupid enough?
and push it? And let it
You
go.
think them fish don't swim around?
Not much. Why would they? This dock is the size of that dock you're going around almost. Like, dude, these things ain't coming out from underneath this except to spawn. That's it.
They swim around.
At night, baby.
They swim around and still see your bait and be like,
Not
You're-
today.
You think they'd be easy. They ain't gonna be easy.
And your best bet is if you just throw on the edge of it,
Dude, pick that up. How much you think that weighs?
I don't pick weights.
25
Dude.
pounds.
There's no way. Pick that. It says 7.5 pounds.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Dude, pick this up.
That's like 15 pounds on either
Pick this
side.
up. That thing's heavy, isn't it?
It's 25 pounds.
It's way more than 25.
God, you're kind of getting weak in your old age.
No, that thing's freaking weight.
That's what I need to be able to put in my fish bag tomorrow.
All right. I gotta go. But I want
7.5,
y'all to know
7.5,
this.
15 on
That's
either
30.
side. 30.
I didn't grow a
Yeah, it's
mustache
30 in the bar. I
to
bet you
come
it's
to Texas
35.
and zero.
Yeah, probably.
that-
Probably not 30.
That's a
It's probably
great
32
point.
and a
You know,
half.
I was
No,
going
I
to bring
bet
up
you-
your
It's not 5
mustache.
pounds,
I
yeah.
bet you it is.
You had no mustache
the
when you
bar's
got
2.5.
here. Like it was a stubble.
Yeah.
And you said something about your mustache, and I said, you don't even have a mustache.
Yeah.
You have one now.
You do have a mustache
Yeah.
now.
And I
I'm
didn't
kinda
I didn't
freaked
grow
out
up to
by
come
the
out here
mustache.
in zero.
So you're catching fish tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I don't know what to think about
Tomorrow's
the
your
mustache.
day. I told you that already.
With the glasses.
Tomorrow's your
And
day.
the lucky
Seriously.
shirt.
Like tomorrow could be the best day of your
In
year.
the van.
Do you have a van down
He
over
He
there?
does have a van. He has a white van.
Huh?
Don't you have a white van?
You have a van? He doesn't have a
I
van.
thought you had a white van
He has
with
no
no
van.
windows.
No. Surveillance van 6? No.
Down by the river.
That's what my wife named her.
If I don't catch 10 pounds tomorrow, I'm shaving my mustache.
You were all saying.
If you
tomorrow
catch
night?
10
I don't know
pounds
if I am.
tomorrow, are you going to have a mustache for the rest of the year?
I gotta drop that boat off Saturday, so I have to
Till
stay.
after Christmas?
Where you dropping?
Really? My
Yeah,
wife is not gonna like you.
She didn't like the mustache?
Mm-mm, my kids hate it even worse.
Really?
But if I catch 10 pounds tomorrow,
Well, that could rock it till January 1st.
If you catch 10 pounds
Just think of the
tomorrow,
fireworks. I'll tell you why.
have they
Think
come
of
up
the
with
fireworks when I
hey,
shave it off on
schedule?
New Year's Eve.
next week.
if I catch 10 pounds tomorrow,
That's what boats are.
God, it's so hard to say
Yeah,
it.
for sure, we're not going to leave in. 1,000%.
10 pounds tomorrow would rocket you up the
Hey, it was
standings.
like we're missing one place.
If I have 10
Rock
pounds tomorrow,
and,
I'll keep it through Thanksgiving.
Eight
Is
events.
that enough?
No,
Yeah,
if you get to fish on Saturday, you got to keep that
But,
sucker till.
he said
New
that
Year's.
If
he
I
tried to go
win,
to
I
Toledo,
keep
but
it
they
New Year's.
said no. And he said he asked me if there's any other place.
Isn't
in
it
Texas.
amazing that
I
I
was like,
zeroed today
okay.
and I have a shot to
questions.
win?
Yeah.
I feel like I do.
That's a great thing about being a
That's
co-angler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you
He's
said,
best for one
a lot of it's just
I mean,
the
I
things
imagine
we
they've
talked
already
about.
got-
You know what's in
Just the
12th
fact
place
that
right now?
they've been there before.
Hey, y'all know what's in 12th place on the co-angler side right now?
It's 5 pounds.
4
4
pounds.
pounds, 5 ounces.
Really?
A lot of those are probably one fish.
I can win.
Yeah, you can. I can win.
100%.
Dude,
We
because there's
can't
going to be a
win.
lot of zeros. Yeah, we can't win.
It's physically impossible for us to win.
I can't catch 25 pounds in 2 days.
No.
I guess I only got to catch 20. I can't catch 20 in 2 days.
I knew I couldn't win before today even started. Before we even fished,
I'm telling
I
you,
knew I couldn't
every
win.
tournament, I cannot remember the last tournament. Every tournament we've ever fished. I'm not talking about this year. I can't remember a tournament where I went into the day going that like I never thought about a limit. I never thought about it. I never thought like, okay, I got to figure out how to catch a limit today. Like it was like, I just got to go catch a fish. Not one, just like I'm just trying to catch a fish, and then I'll move on to the next one. But a lot of the tournaments I go into, like even Arkansas River, I'm like, okay, I can go down that stretch and catch 2 or 3, possibly. And I can go over there and catch 1. Like that's how my mind works. Like, okay, if I hit these next 6 spots, guaranteed I'll at least get a bite on maybe one of the. It might not happen, but I never had enough bites where I thought they were keepers to where I'm like, okay, if I hit these next 4 points, I'll catch a fish off one of them, and then I can go hit those points. When I can go, it was like, all right, well, maybe I'll just go fish for a while and see if I catch one over here. And I'm like, okay. And then at the end of the day, I was like, I just need to catch one fish off this point. And I fished it for I was in like one fish deal. Like, how do I catch a fish? Not like if I had caught 2, I'd have been happy. Like after 12 o'clock, I'm like, if I can catch 1, I went throwing a spinnerbait, knowing damn well there's no way I could possibly ever catch 4. After when you saw me,
Yeah.
no way.
I had a bite
Impossible.
right after that too. I would
Impossible to
knock the
catch 4.
fire out of it.
But I'm like, man, maybe I can catch 1 in 4 hours. And I went and did it to catch 1. That's a bad. And I didn't notice I was doing that until later on. I'm like, yeah, that's how much I think how hard it is. Because I don't know how to catch keepers.
You got a 20-foot fishing pole.
No.
All
I
right.
have a 9-footer.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Stay tuned to next episode when Todd. I don't know. What's on the next episode?
Man, I want to
It's going to be good. Trust me.
wrestle somebody.
It's going to be good. Todd and Bradley are going to wrestle.
That ain't gonna happen.
I think that's gonna happen.
It might happen.
I take Holman.
We out.